Oh, good morning, everyone. Just gonna hang on a couple of minutes. What I'm gonna do for everyone, you know the drill. Watching the recording, check out the comments, scroll through the comments. I'd love you to watch it all, really, but I usually do ramble for the first couple of minutes. Mind you, most people think I'll ramble for the whole time, but that's cool. If you don't want to learn anything, that's okay. But yeah, just flick through the comments anyway. Check out what everyone's saying, all the comments, all the questions. Anyone who's jumping on now, say hi, how are you? Oh, surprise, surprise, Belinda's on first. You're always on here early, Belinda. That's fantastic. I'm going to give you a quick view from up here on the balcony in a sec. I haven't done a live stream up here yet. I've been wandering around the pools and the beach and everything. Yes, hi Belinda, there's a fair delay here. Anyone else who's jumping on, no hiding. I do appreciate you all jumping on, I really do. It's a big part of why I do this. Got a bit of an echo up here too, which is really, really different. I've been going to do a live stream from up on the balcony here for a bit. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to spin this around, give you a view from up here, give you a look. It's pretty cool. Tara, how are ya? Oh, I've got superstars on here this morning. Have a look at that. Anyone else who's jumping on? Let's go. Let's get involved. You'll be in Bali the end of next week. Well, guess what, Belinda? I'm leaving tomorrow or the next day. Bill, how are you, brother? Legend. Thank you, man. Loving your support, bro. Look at that. Great view here this morning. Just going to set this up again down here. Where are we? I've got a really low chair here. It's like I could sit back like this if I want, but I'm not going to. Johnny Cav, the creative mind is on. You've had an amazing opportunity to come up, Belinda. I'm sure you're going to tell me all about that. Haha, Bill, legend. Roughing it as usual. This is all. Louise, how are you? Good morning. Roughing it, roughing it. Well, that's what it's about. I do have to send out a massive gratitude to Lee Bundy for this, actually. He's been looking after me massively this week. I've extended my stay in Bali. And it has been fantastic here at the W. You can say living it up, but no, just being here in this different environment, like I say, coming out of the retreats. The retreats are pretty full on. And with a lot of other stuff going on, like I say, if you guys have been following Lee's little journey at the moment, and it's something that I want to touch on here. It's been not a testing time, but like different. It's been really different this last week. Like I say, we've been taking in the pool. We've been doing a lot of work on ourselves. And when we talk about that sort of thing, people are like, "What do you mean work on yourself? Are we studying or all of that?" No, there's a lot of internal work going on, and something that I've been really, really tested with this week myself. Like I come out of the retreats on an absolute high. I know that I took my shit to the next level, and to have that awareness about my own self, how I was feeling, and just my awareness of certain things and how people are and energy and that after the retreat, I actually felt it go up a notch again, which was awesome for me. And I didn't really look at it till like not yesterday, the day before, and I said, shit, I've got to really take this in, because something I've done in my life is never really celebrated for the right reasons, never really celebrated my own personal growth or anything like that, and that's something I really took a look at. But even like I said, the last couple of days, Lee's been dealing with a lot of personal stuff, but he's the master. This is why he's my superstar coach and mentor. I've been learning so much from just how he's been able to handle himself and deal with situations. Not all good. How are you, Cal? Anyone else who's jumping on? Throw some questions in there too, guys. I've been putting off doing a couple of live feeds lately because of a lot of the stuff that I've been dealing with as well. And when I say dealing with it, I speak like that as if it's been bad. And it hasn't been bad, it's just been different. It's been a massive, massive learning experience. And this morning I really, down at the beach, doing success priming, and I really had to have a look at the way I've been handling myself the last few days, because I've actually started to let things affect me. Like I say, Lee's been going through a lot, and it's been awesome being here with Lee, learning a lot of stuff, having some great conversations about coming up with solutions to what's going on. Emily, how are you? Fantastic that you're on. Absolutely fantastic. we'll have to have a conversation about that superstar setup you got going there with doTERRA, Emily. And you got to say hi when you jump on here, you should know that. Challenging, yeah, Belinda, challenging. When people say challenging, or when I say challenging, people think it's hard, it's tough. It's only how you make it. And it's something I've been really looking at, is as soon as you focus on something, like as I was starting to focus on, oh shit, I've got this that I've got to sort out, I've got to get back for this, I've got this is not working, this person's not showing up, this person's not doing what they said. All these sorts of things I started focusing on. And it started to take my attention away from moving forward to going back, to focusing on something that was holding me back. It was really cool last night. I had a great sleep last night, but this morning I got up and I'm like, this is how I'm going to deal with this sort of stuff. Here I was starting to become reactive to certain circumstances, like back home, even here, like I say, being around Lee all the time while he's dealing with his own stuff. A lot of stuff going on behind the scenes in the business side of things, with certain things that I'm doing, with stuff within Beast Mode, with the amazing Beauties in the Beast, which is open and ready to rock and roll. But also talking to a lot of guys that are contacting us, a lot of men contacting us with issues and stuff. And what happens there is, as soon as my focus has been going back to that and focusing, keep me accountable here, guys. The internet just bombed out. I don't know why. And I'm getting messages again. But like I say, I started to let it affect me. But when I say affect me, it was affecting my focus for my decisions. What was next? What was next? And instead of thinking about what was next, it was like, shit, I'm gonna go back. Why did that happen there? I'm gonna start looking back to that. And when you get that sort of mindset, it does not move you forward. And I'm sure you guys can agree here. And when I went down the beach this morning for my success priming, I just really concentrated and focused on really simplifying it. Because usually, like, when I've got to this place in the past, I'm like, more action. But if you're in the wrong headspace, if you're in that place of, you're sort of stuck and you're like, well, I should be focusing here, you got little bits and that going on, the more action you take, it's just wasted activity. And that's what I was starting to do. And this morning I just really simplified it. I'm like, all right, yeah, I've got to take some action. I've got to take huge action, but it's got to be controlled. It's got to be pinpoint. It's got to be smart. Aaron, how are you, man? Sunny day in Vegas on the bike. First cleanse day of project. Oh, look out. Love the cleanse. I need a double cleanse when I get back. I really do. And that's something we do on the retreats too. And I come out of there feeling absolutely amazing. I still feel really good now, but lacking a bit of consistency with the old cleanses. But back to it. When your attention's like going back and forth and it's like scattered and that, and you're taking action like I was doing, my full focus wasn't on each task. I wasn't giving it my full energy, and it was starting to affect me and starting to drain me. And just to have that self-realization, yes, I got Lee here as well, guiding me in the right direction, but I'm going to get to how I'm learning from that as well. It was draining my energy. I'm like, how do I deal with this one? Like, usually it's more action, it's more calls, connect with more people, lead more people, talk to more people, and I'm like, no. This morning was all about me. Simple as that. Might sound selfish, but I am. And like I say, I come out of the retreat and I was flying. So how do I get back to that? I just cut out. What do we got? A fine line between being focused on doing work even when you don't want to. I want to do the work, Tara. I'm going to get to my little point in a minute, but I want to do the work, and I am doing the work. But it's smart work. It's the right work. It's work that's actually going to get a result, if you want to put it that way. And you would understand this, in a couple of you guys on here that are working with clients and everything, that you're giving your focus and energy to too many of the wrong ones, or if you're leading them and they're not being led, or you haven't got that match, your energy just drains. And I'm like, well, getting back to myself this morning, how can I become better at balancing my energy, if you want to use that, between people, but between what I'm doing and focusing in the right spots? And I just brought it back to myself. I literally went down there and I was saying to myself, fuck this, it's all about me. It's serious. And then as soon as I got in that space, when I got rid of the scatter and I'm down there on the beach and you got the waves crashing, it's a beautiful sunny morning here, and you just feel the sand between your toes, and the energy, like I say, the energy here is amazing. As soon as I tapped into that again, and I'm like, dropped out of my head, and I'm like, well, here we go. It's back a week ago or so, out of the retreat, flying, all this new knowledge, all this new awareness. And by just bringing all the attention back to myself, I'm like, all right, what have I got to do here? What have I got to do? And I just started setting the intentions very basically. Like, all right, now you're going to look after yourself first. Simplify it. Target the focus. Focus not have to be on you for a start. And then, yeah, Aaron, and that's what I'm talking about, man. But what it is, the focus, yes, it's meant to be on me, but when you are leading other people, you are putting a lot of time into other people, of course your focus is going to go to them. And it goes back. There is a fine line between going all your energy into them because you really want to push them when it's just probably not going to happen. Like I do a lot because I've got a big heart. I want to help everyone. Just like Lee, me and Lee are so similar in that regard. We want to help everyone. But when that attention and focus and energy continually goes out to people that just aren't that match or just don't want to move forward, guess what happens? Drained. And then you got to I had to put more focus, more work, more time into myself. And even laying there this morning before I even got out of bed, I'm like, how am I going to attack this day differently than what I've done the last couple of days? Because I've become very reactive. When you become reactive, yeah, recentering, realignment, Aaron, whatever you want to call it. But like I say, being very reactive. And when you're reactive to other people, that's not moving people forward. That's not leading people. Simple as that. And that's what I'm all about, is leading people forward, leading people out of wherever they are in that spot. It doesn't have to be dark times. It can be it's an interesting process in up-leveling, especially after a high alpha retreat and taking time to process the learning and realign. Yeah, and that's it, Tara. Because even when I've come out, going back to being reactive, that's how I used to be, very reactive to other people's situations around me. Yeah, you've got to be on your toes and you've got to deal with certain things that come up, but you've got to stick to the intention you set. You've still got to push on instead of just giving up. And it comes back to setting the right intentions, and really having that connection with it, that emotional connection. Because if you don't have that, you become reactive. You wait for things to happen. You wait for things to come. And that's just the wrong way to go about it. And anyone can do this. And like you mentioned the word up-leveling there, Tara. Anyone in any stage of this growth, coaching, mentoring, whatever you're in, business, it doesn't matter. There's always going to be this, and you've always got to go like that, or you're always going to go to that, or you're always going to face that. It's fucking life. Shit happens. You're going to get things that come up. It doesn't matter where you are. Like I say, I come out of the retreat, I was on an absolute high. And I see the master, Lee Lynch, is on here now. Legend. Thought you would have been under the knife by now, brother. I'm wrapped that you're on, man. Thank you for that phone call yesterday. That helped me with a lot. I made some pretty cool phone calls after that were shocked a couple of people, but it felt so much better after it. And it all links into this. And being, like I say, around Lee this week, where he's not going through a lot, it's just a challenge. It's like just one of life's challenges as it comes up. And I've actually become very reactive to his situation, which is cool to a certain extent because I'm here for him to guide him or help him or just be a good mate around him at this time. But I also learn, this is the thing, something that I've learned, if you want me to repeat my words, is to look for the lesson in everything. Everything. Seriously, every situation. You've just got to look for some sort of lesson. Like, I'll get away from this live stream, I'm like, all right, how do I react to that, to what their questions were or everything? How could I be better on the next one? And like I say, being in this amazing environment, but being around Lee when he's going through his own challenges, seeing how he deals with certain situations, seeing how he does that without him telling me, without him talking to me, and then even giving him feedback, it's helped me learn so much. And when I say getting back to myself this morning, that's what I do. I'm like, all right, that's been there. There's a few lessons out of that, but how can I set the intention from what I've learned to move forward at a more rapid rate? Instead of doing this, like I'm doing reactive, oh shit, challenge, fuck, that's what I've been doing. Throw some questions at me, guys. Absolutely. It's really, really warm up here this morning. Thought I'll come up here on the balcony. It's going to be really cool. I'm just going to kick back. Yeah, exactly, Tara. And this is what I'm talking about. The universe is sending me a lesson, and I got right into it. Yeah, exactly. All these, see, you guys on here are amazing, and that's what I mean. I'm glad that you guys are on a similar journey as me that are on here, because it helps with my interaction that I know. Yeah, you could say it's like reinforcement for me. Like, I know that I'm on this certain way, and I know that everything I look at, I'm not always going to learn the right lesson. I'm not always going to see the lesson. I'm aware of that. But when I do talk about it, and then I get the feedback from you guys that I know that I'm on a right path sort of thing when I talk about this stuff. It really does help me. Locks it in if you want. Belief. But taking it in up here this morning, like looking down over all this area where we've been the last few days, it's all right, I'm going to get to that question in a sec. But taking in, looking at it now, like I've been set up over there working, been set up over there relaxing, been set up over there like having a chat with a few people and being in the pool and doing all this stuff. It's been constantly still moving forward. It's, thank you Lee Lynch. Oh, I see that comment, I'm not going to get to it in a minute, that's perfect. But it's still constantly moving forward. But when I talk about being reactive, I started questioning, was this serving me? Was that time spent there the right time spent there to do this? Could I have spent that time better? Could I have been calling people here? Could I have been doing this? And you know what? And what I've come up with? No. Everything that has happened the last few days was fucking perfect. Because as soon as I started questioning, was it serving me? As soon as I said, no, that was no good, I started saying it was no good. See how it shifts? And then my focus was going, oh, I've wasted time. But no, everything has happened perfectly to bring me to this point. Everything that's happened along the days, I've learned a lot of lessons over the last few days, the last week, has brought me to this point to be able to have this clarity, to be able to have this moment where I can say, no, actually, this is pretty cool. What do we got? What is the most loving thing I can do for myself right now, for me and my growth? Exactly, Tara. I woke up this morning. That's what I had to do. And I said that. I said it with more harsh words, but mine was like not the most loving thing. I'm like, what the fuck can I do to get myself fucking in my ultimate peak state as soon as possible to be of the very best version of myself to just destroy this day? It was something like that. Missing the lesson is still a lesson. Who do we talk? Did we talk about this, Lee? I think I spoke about this with someone the other day. It might have even been a post I put up about what's the lesson you can learn by not seeing the lesson. It was. Did you see that? And that's exactly what this is. Keep showing up in different ways until you do. Yeah, in Steve speak. What do we got? Talking to yourself is a realization. What is the biggest learning taken from others at the retreat that has taken till now to realize? Gee, there's a couple in there, Aaron. What is the biggest learning taken from others? Taken from others. I think it's continual, Aaron. It's the same sort of lesson I see when men come through the retreat is self-worth, self-belief. Something that I constantly battle with, and even the last few days, when you go to this point and you start questioning yourself and you start looking back and putting your focus elsewhere, I started questioning myself, started backing off from situations because I started to lose that self-belief again. And that's a huge thing coming out of the retreats and at the retreats. If I don't, and Lee Lynch is on here and the other coaches, mentors, if we don't have massive self-belief leading into them, during them, even after them, if that wavers, how can we lead the other men coming through? But self-worth, self-belief is massive out of all the retreats. That's huge. And the men, when they don't even open up to that. They don't say, I've got low self-worth. They don't. They're like, oh, I'm going okay. I'll go. Didn't see. What didn't you see, Lee Lynch? Tell me, what didn't you see? Yeah, Tara, perfect. They are. But the other thing too, that I didn't realise to now, Aaron, let me think. I think it was more self-realisation, Aaron. I think for myself, looking back now, and I had a look at one of the, it was just a simple one-liner, Lee. But looking back now, it was how much I didn't realise how much my self-belief in myself was to it, because I didn't even focus on myself during the retreats. Until I look back now, and I probably didn't lock it in good enough, and I touched on this at the start of the live stream, about locking in the celebration of the retreats, and like, well, how much did I grow through it? And it might sound selfish because I'm not there for myself, but if I don't do that when it comes to points like this, if I don't lock in them self-realizations, if you want to call it that, or them little wins, how do I know I've grown? How can I look and say, well, you have grown, well done, awesome stuff, lock it in, move forward? So that's probably the biggest self-realization I had, that I actually did really, really well. I rocked it on about 8 or 9 hours sleep too. Lee Lynch will attest to that. For a week, that's fucking madness, but I was in peak state, simple as that. There were some tests, there were some challenges, and I didn't function like unbelievably the whole way through. But that was huge for me to look back on. And I know the next retreat's in December, by the way, which is like, we've got only a couple of spots there. We've got a heap of interviews the next couple of days, which are rocking and rolling. But Beauties and the Beast is massive. So that, for me, the realization having that going into the next retreat, that I can more than handle myself and learn and grow continually to go forward, to lead these other men that have got all these self-worth belief issues. I'm just burping up a juice. But yeah, that's probably the biggest thing. Great point. Every time you have to help others, you grow yourself. You do, Tara, you do. But the thing is, like I say this morning, if you don't bring the attention back to yourself sometimes, and you are helping others, guess what happens? You get challenged and you fucking turn away, like I started to do. Nah. Lee, your energy, yours, Aaron's, Lee's energy, that's what kept me cranking. My energy's just... I usually say my energy's on tap, but it is until... Here's the point. My energy is awesome. I have amazing energy, and I'm proud to say that. I love how I can just crank it. But the last few days, if I go away from maybe my routine, or go away and what I'm talking about, putting focus in the wrong areas or areas too much, my energy dives right down. I'm like this, like my energy will peak like crazy, but at certain times it'll go so freaking low that there's no happy medium. So for me, as a learning, growing experience too, that's something that I've still got to work on. I've got to come to the awareness sooner rather than later when I'm on that crash and burn. But that's what I mean. This morning was huge for that. It was massive for that, to just say, no, this is exactly how I'm going to do this. This is what I'm going to be for myself today. To be able to be like, to carry myself properly through the day for others, to help others, to move others forward. I had that music cranking this morning, Lee Lynch. I had to. I needed that. Linking in with the waves, the beach, the sun, the beautiful palm trees and everything here. Boom. Got a gym session coming up too where I'm going to be cranking that stuff. This interaction's been fantastic anyway, guys. So please throw some questions on. I'm going to wind it up in a sec. Just go and see if I've missed anything. Anyone who's hiding on there, just at least say hi. I see you pop on there, Robbie Rowe. Say hi, brother. Got some superstars jumped on here early, which is fantastic. I am super grateful for you guys hopping on. I really am. I will be doing a live feed later on today too. I really want to go into, and I mentioned this the other day, and it's something I've been putting off, is why I created Better Way. Where did it come from? What was it? And it's come from a lot of life lessons. I am looking at doing that this afternoon. I have no idea, Lee Lynch. What is the capital of Ethiopia? You tell me, man. You tell me. That's all right. I'll get you back for that. But yeah, like I say, where Better Way come from and all that. And it was a progression of all my life lessons. Have you found yourself in a role reversal state with the other going on? That's a ripping question, Tara. I was going to wind up this live feed, but guess what? I'm going to roll on with that. I've been, that is the thing I come to this morning. You call it a thing, Tara? On how to deal with that. Yeah, absolutely. And that's the role I took this morning. Exactly that. Only to a certain extent, because as you know, the situation I'm in here, it's like mentor, coach, mentor, but mates as well. And in this situation, that's how I felt. I'm like, no, I've been reactive, now it's be proactive and reverse that role to a certain what we say, a certain extent. Because being a leader, that's what you're meant to do. You're meant to be able to lead others, any others. I don't see people as this. Up here, someone up here, down here. It's like everyone's on this same level. If you want to lead someone else, it doesn't matter what situation they're in. Everyone goes through shit, but you aren't always going through shit at the same time. If you're in a team and all that sort of stuff, other people have got to step up. Other people have got to step up when someone up there's got challenges going on, so someone else has got to lead. Someone else has got to lead. And when I talk about leaders creating leaders, that's what it's all about. That's something I really tapped into this morning as well. So when I was going to being reactive and being a follower and everything, when shit wasn't working, that was the wrong way to deal with the situation. So thank you for bringing that up, Tara. It was perfect. It's sort of what I touched on earlier. I just didn't explain it properly. Thank you. You have considered me. As long as you didn't have sympathy for me, Tara. There's a difference there. What do we got? Addis Ababa, spelling is wrong. Okay, Lee Lynch, you're just throwing in alien emojis everywhere, man. Are you sure you haven't had your operation yet, Lee Lynch? Lee Lunch? We are all equal, yet sometimes you need to put your hand out and help them up. Sometimes you do, Tara. As long as they're reaching up. There's a back. I was just like looking down there at the pool. It's pretty cool. What do we got? Yeah, absolutely, Lee. Anyone who doesn't know, Lee Lynch is going in for operation today. Send him out your love, your best wishes, all this. Yes, he is, Aaron. Good luck with the operation, man. Yeah, and I will be talking to you. Actually, you know what you should do? Send us some messages like when you're on the Octomall, because I reckon they'd be very similar. But no, good luck today, man, and thank you for the call yesterday and your support and everything for the last few months, and you're rocking it, bro. You're absolutely rocking it. You're going to come out of this op and everything the next couple of weeks just smashing it. So thank you, man, for being a fucking brother and a good mate. No, I didn't think so, Tara. I had to throw that out there. But anyway, like I say, later on today, just a curious state. Later on today, it's not a definite, it's not a lock-in, because I've got a lot of other stuff I'm working out, but I really want to touch on where Better Way come from. A lot of my story in regards to how I've developed myself this year especially. Thank you, Lee, man, thank you. Partnership, Lee Lynch, partnership. We can call it coach and mentor, but I believe it's a good partnership, man. We bounce off each other, it's awesome. But yeah, like I say, Better Way, where it came from, and just the development of it really, because I'll be honest, it's not something that I really put out there. When I started this like over 12 months ago, when I started with Beast Mode, when I started with Isogenics, when I started doing a lot of new stuff and moving away from the mining game, I seen George Bundy jump on there then. Say hi, George, legend that you're on, man. But the Better Way, for me, it is a bit of a story, because it just came somewhere. Where was it? I was working on other stuff out of the retreat in February. I was working on like my fitness. I was bringing a fitness thing out. I was going for my personal trainer's certificate, if you want to call it that, and all that sort of thing. I had this amazing idea, which is still there, which has got, I've put everything in place, called the Outback Workout. That was my focus, like this fitness thing. But I really want to touch on how I drifted away from that. It's still there, but went into Better Way, working with people one-on-one. Really stepping up in a leadership role, yeah, with Beast Mode, but like I say, with my own branding and everything, to be able to mentor people and teach people as well what I have learned through Beast Mode, what I have learned off Lee, and I really want to go deep into that later. So any of you guys that are on, I see Lee just give me the thumbs up down there, which is awesome. He's down there rocking it out today. We are in the zone this morning too, you guys. So anyone who's been watching enough, we are in the absolute zone today. So look out, people. But like I say, I want to touch on that in that next live feed I do, about Better Way, where it's come from, and where it's going, more importantly, and how it's interlinked and how it's evolved. So any of you guys that are on, anyone watching the recording, please fire some questions in the comments. Get on the live stream. I'll give you a heads up for the live stream later on, because it is a big one. I'm going to go deep on some personal stuff. If you like, if I believe it serves the purpose of the live stream and it serves the purpose of the message, which I think it does. But that's about it, guys. Like I say, watch this space the next couple of days. Same, straight back at you, Lee, man. Straight back at you, brother. It's been an interesting week, but it's been fantastic for both of us learning to go forward, man. Absolutely. I'm going to wind it up now, guys, because we have a gym session. Lee's rocking in. He has the zone. See, we were in the zone today. Lee's in the zone too. I'm fucking wrapped for this. This is awesome. But we're going to the gym now. Not from you, Lee. I was going to say, no funny messages, massages. That's funny. That's gold. But I am going to wind it up, guys. I'm going to go to the gym, smash out a workout. Big challenge overcome. You're spot on, Lee. It is. It's fucking overcome, and we are fucking rocketing to the top. We're at the top and going higher. We're creating a new top. How about that? Have a great day, people. Watch this space later. Lee better be on the way up the stairs. He's putting emojis in there now. Better Way inside, where it came from. That's going to be this afternoon, plus much, much more. Beauties in the Beast. We've got more on that later on too. So busy, busy, busy. See you later. Thanks, Aaron. I've seen that.